Hi, and welcome to the second tutorial in this series. Today we will dive a bit deeper into how to work with ChordSeqAI. You should be a bit familiar with ChordSeqAI to keep up. If you aren't feeling confident, you can check out the first chapter. We recommend following along in your browser, as it may take time to fully understand some of the features. Let's start by preparing our workspace. We can customize the time signature of the timeline by clicking on it. Here we can set how many beats there will be per measure and how long each beat will be. Other than 4/4, 3/4 and 2/4 signatures are often used in music. For this demo, though, we will stick with 4/4. Let's also change the AI model, which gives us the suggestions. Clicking on the button which displays the name of the model shows us a drop-down with all the available models. The recurrent network is the simplest of them. It is very lightweight, but the suggestions are of a lower quality. Then there are 3 sizes of a transformer model. These are great for general purposes. The larger variants produce better outputs at the cost of waiting longer. Finally, we have 3 conditional models. These also allow you to specify the style of your progression. When choosing which model to use, try to use the best available model that works fast enough on your device. We will select a large conditional transformer and look into how we can specify the style. You can see that the button is now split into 2 parts, one describing the model and the other describing the style. Let's open the menu and specify the genre and the decade. We will select jazz in the 1970s. Now that our workspace is prepared, we can go ahead and add our first chord by clicking on the plus icon or using the shortcut A. When you select the first blank chord, you can already see that the jazzier chords are weighted more than previously. Let's try something more complex this time. We will pick a major 7th chord, such as D major 7. Let's build a 4-chord progression like in the first chapter. Listen to your progression as you build it to get a better idea of what you are creating. Now that our creation is prepared, let's talk about some ways to improve your experience. One of the things that get repetitive is the selection of chords. You can use the arrow keys on your keyboard to move the selection. If you have nothing selected, the right arrow key will select the first chord and the left arrow key the last chord. Also, if you move the selection out of the progression, no chord will be selected. Alternatively, you can also press Escape to deselect a chord. You might wonder how to add chords of different durations than just ones spanning the entire measure. To illustrate this, let's add another chord to our sequence. If you hover over the right edge of a chord, you can grab it and resize it freely. Once you release your mouse, the chord will keep its new duration. One thing you might have noticed is that if your selected chord is in the middle of the sequence, adding a new chord will insert it right after the selection, like this. It may be useful in some situations, but sometimes this is undesired. Don't worry, you can delete the chord by selecting it and clicking on the trash bin icon, or just by pressing Delete on your keyboard. By the way, if you mess up anything, you can always undo or redo your changes up to 64 steps into the past via these arrow icons. The shortcuts Ctrl-Z and Ctrl-Y work as expected. Also, your progress gets automatically saved, so if your browser crashes unexpectedly or you want to take a break, you can seamlessly get right back. Let's complete the chord progression by adding another 2 chords. You can find the chords not only by their name, but also by the notes used in them. You can click on the piano to select some notes you want to have in your chord. And now, let's add the last chord. One thing you might want to do when working with longer sequences is to zoom in and out or move your view. ChordSeqAI allows you to do that by using your scroll wheel. You can zoom in and out by scrolling, and move the view by pressing and dragging the scroll wheel. This may feel unnatural at first if you are not used to it from other software, but it has the added benefit that you can drag from anywhere you want without interfering with your creation. Let's take a deeper look at the playback. You can turn on the metronome by clicking on the icon next to play or by using the shortcut M. If you think the playback is too slow or fast, you can change the tempo from the settings. It is shown there in beats per minute. Finally, to change the time at which the playback starts, you can click the top or bottom edges of the timeline. This changes the position of the playhead, which is the blue moving thing. Last but not least, let's talk about saving your work. Creating a chord progression is nice, but you probably want to create more than just one. .ChordSeq format was created for this reason, which stores all of the important aspects of the progression and allows you to quickly switch back and forth between different creations. We recommend creating a folder where you will save your creations. Maybe you can also sort them into different subfolders for each project. Once you are sure that the progression is exported, you can clear the timeline by right-clicking the trash bin icon and start creating a new one. If you have previously exported a progression and would like to continue working on it, you can easily import it whenever you need to. That's it for now. You should now know the core features of ChordSeqAI. Thank you for joining us, and happy composing!